Welcome to the channel Tech Base. You can get global latest technological news in daily video. Please subscribe this channel. The chips of American chip companies sell well all over the world. If you want to buy top-level chips, you basically choose the products of American companies. Qualcomm's Snapdragon, Nvidia's graphics card and Intel's CPU, etc. These chips occupy an absolute market share. The semiconductor market once experienced a shortage of chips. The supply of chips from many suppliers was in short supply. Downstream customers had to wait in line to get enough chips. This has also brought considerable chip sales to most U.S. companies, and chip shipments continue to set new records. However, in the context of the downward trend in consumer market demand, industry giants such as smartphones and PCs are having a hard time. Many U.S. chip giants have handed over poor financial reports, which fully demonstrates that they cannot obtain ideal returns and benefits from the consumer market. But even so, American companies are still accelerating capacity transfer. For example, Dell plans to migrate 50% of its PC production capacity from mainland China in 2025, without using Chinese chips. Now it is reaping the fruit of itself. Dell officially announced that it will lay off 6,600 people worldwide. The word bleak can be used to describe the current American technology industry. Both companies and employees have their own troubles. The company's performance has declined, and employees are facing the fate of being laid off. World-class giants such as Intel and Qualcomm can't hold on anymore. Intel's net profit fell 60% last year, Qualcomm's first quarter profit plummeted 34%, and other U.S. companies did the same. Even Apple, which has maintained revenue growth for 14 quarters, stopped its growth momentum in the first fiscal quarter, with overall revenue down 5% and profits down 13%. There are various signs that U.S. companies are facing the biggest decline in demand in recent years. Without demand, no matter how good a company's chips are, it won't be able to sell them. Without the sales brought by chips, the company would not be able to maintain normal operations, and eventually embarked on the step of layoffs. After Amazon, Intel, etc., another U.S. company announced layoffs. This American company is the global PC giant Dell. According to Dell, it is experiencing the continuous erosion of headwinds in the consumer electronics market, and there is uncertainty in the future. In this regard, Dell announced a layoff plan to lay off 6,600 people worldwide, accounting for 5% of the total workforce. Dell is not the first U.S. company to announce layoffs, nor will it be the last. Judging from the scale of layoffs, Dell has lost all its capital. Because once layoffs of 6,600 people, the number of Dell's employees will drop to the lowest level since 2017. At the step of layoffs, it means that the company has no choice, otherwise most companies should not abandon the employees who have paid for the company. Combining Dell's financial report and market operating conditions, we can understand why this American company did this. Dell's revenue for the third fiscal quarter of 2022 will be $24.7 billion, a year-on-year decline of 6%. Net profit was $241 million, a sharp drop of 93% year-on-year. In the fourth quarter of last year, Dell's PC shipments ranked third in the world, but the decline reached 37.2%. The data illustrates many problems. Dell is the world's first-line PC giant. Now its revenue and profit are both declining, and it is laying off employees. Although Dell's situation is closely related to the decline in market demand, Dell's transfer of production capacity may cause more variables in the future. Dell previously announced a plan to transfer capacity, moving 50% of its PC capacity from China. The goal is to realize this plan in 2025, and the transferred production capacity will be placed in Vietnam, Thailand, and other Southeast Asian countries. Regarding the procurement source of chips, Dell will also readjust the industrial chain system, increase the purchase of overseas chips, and even purchase chip components from overseas. But the question is, can Dell meet the needs of the PC industry from Southeast Asian countries? In recent years, giants such as Apple, Samsung, and Qualcomm have continued to bet on building factories in Vietnam. At the same time, India has also ushered in the industrial chain blessing of these giants such as Apple. More and more iPhone production capacity has landed in Indian factories, and Vietnam has also introduced measures to reshape the manufacturing landscape. There is only one purpose, and that is to provide a market platform for the arrival of the giants, starting from the manufacturing industry, and improving economic development. How the other side's market behaves is their business, and it is normal for markets to maintain fairness and openness. But compared to Apple's decentralized layout, Dell's choice is more inclined to single independence. It may not necessarily be the industrial scene required by market globalization. Now Dell is caught in a storm of performance and layoffs. It is estimated that it will have a certain impact on the capacity transfer plan. After all, doing any business requires the support of employees. Dell has laid off 6,600 people, and it is estimated that many things will be stranded and stagnant. I don't know whether Dell will re-examine the rationality of the capacity transfer plan, but if it chooses the wrong path, it will take even greater efforts if it wants to go back in the future. As for Apple's production capacity transfer measures, at least it has left itself a way out. It is not difficult to find that Apple's industrial chain layout has always been diversified, and it will not concentrate on one market and cooperate with suppliers. The benefits of Apple's doing so are indeed obvious. On the one hand, it will not rely too much on a single market and suppliers. On the other hand, the industrial chain structure can be adjusted at any time to improve the controllability and selectivity of production capacity output, so as to be adaptable. From the perspective of the market, as long as it maintains open cooperation, provides a wealth of industrial chain options, and has its own advantages in high-tech manufacturing, then there will be no shortage of investment participants. Apple is very aware of this truth, and has not really left for so many years. The right to choose is in the hands of Dell. What kind of production capacity transfer plan will determine what kind of future Dell will have.